Hello again, everybody. This is Rocket Rick J18 coming to you from the launching pad. And today I have some art cards that I picked up from our best friend at Reindeer Studios, Scott. And some of these are just, a couple of them are really stunners, and they're all good, of course, but some are just really stunners. So I want to show those to you. And then I want to show you some other cards that I picked up that are going to go towards sets that I'm collecting. And just, kind of give you an update on the progress that I've made towards finishing those sets. And let's see. Okay, well, I think we're ready to look at some baseball cards. What do you think? So we'll go through our adjustments. So the first card that I want to show you is obviously a contemporary player. This is Stephen Kwan, and this was as I understand it, a project that Scott undertook, and I believe he was commissioned by someone to do the artwork, and this is kind of the result. And this is these cards are 20 as marked. This card's marked 20 of 25, so it gives you an idea about the scarcity of some of these cards. And I know I might be stepping on my own toes here by promoting these cards, but I really like them, and I hope to get more of them. And I would love to have a complete collection, but I don't. I've missed so many earlier on that I didn't get, and I regret all of those. But anyway, here's Stephen Kwan. The next one was a guy that I think. I know Ted Williams said that he was somebody that he really liked to talk about hitting with. And for Ted Williams to say that to you, obviously, you've got to be a pretty good hitter. And Tony Gwynn was an excellent hitter. He played his entire career with the San Diego Padres. And so we didn't see him as much back here in the East as perhaps they might have seen in the San Diego and Los Angeles area. But Tony Gwynn's one of, I think, at least three players that have made a really legitimate run at hitting 400 since Ted Williams did it in 1941. The other two that I can think of were Rod Carew and George Brett, and all three of these guys hit over 390. So that's pretty good, pretty close. You're just talking a matter of a couple of hits one way or the other, and we would have had another 300 game winner. Another 300, another 400 hitter. Obviously, the next card explains why I said 300 game winner. This is none other than Nolan Ryan. Over 5,000 strikeouts, over 300 wins. Just an excellent pitcher over a long period of time. I think it was in California, and I can't remember the name of the pitching coach, but somebody worked with Nolan, and figured out how he could repeat his delivery the same in the same motion every time, which of course, since you're throwing out of the same arm slot and your delivery mechanically is straightened out, you throw a lot more strikes. And so that the secret, as I understood it, was the high knee kick. It helped him not only hide the ball, but it also gave him, in order to be able to do that, he had to, have a pretty good balance, and so that he helped him. Um, all the pieces fit together. So, and of course, it was in California that he really took off. I mean, in New York, I don't think they uh, had anybody on the staff that could help him repeat his motion so that he was doing it the same way every time. And the variations, speed and so on, came from the how he held the ball, not necessarily how he delivered it. Another, maybe the best practitioner of that school of thought might have been uh, Tom Seaver, because Tom, somebody once said that if you wanted to pick a guy to uh, emulate as a pitcher, Tom Seaver would be a great choice because he did everything mechanically correct. This card is the supposed to be uh, Kurt Flood, but it's actually Lou Brock, and uh, we know that because Scott uh, got together with Kurt Flood's daughter, and Scott made the correction, and he's shortly going to have another card that is, in effect, his replacement for this particular card. Next is Larry Doby. This is just a stunning piece of artwork. I can't say enough about this card and about Larry Doby. And this is a 7 out of 50 card. And the Babe Ruth, obviously, we're looking at his called shot here. 18 out of 50 for the Bambino. Now, the next card that I'm going to show is my card number 4 in my continuing effort to collect the high number series out of the 52 top set. And I now have 4 of these cards. And George Crowe came from Boston to the Cardinals and finished out his career in the 1964 season. I might have played a year or two after that, but he was considered to be a very important reason why another great pitcher straightened out his approach to baseball, and when he finally got the chance. And George Crowe was helpful in that process. So, not a pitcher, but he still was a big part of Bob Gibson getting squared away and getting regular starts and plenty of work, and just not everybody's an all-star, but George Crowe is important. Here are my cards which I have acquired as part of my 51 Bowman set. And this is Joe Maxim, boxer, and he was a light heavyweight. So there's Joe Maxim. Next we have Sandy Sadler, who was a featherweight. That's really down there at the near the bottom of the weight classes, which Sandy looks like he might have been about 15 or 16 years old, but I'm sure he was older than that. Now the next guy that we're going to show actually held a heavyweight boxing championship, which he won in 1949 in Chicago when he beat Jersey Joe Walcott, and then successfully defended his title against Joe Louis in 1950. Of course, Louis had been a champion already. Next is from the University of Oklahoma football star Wade Walker. And there are several football players in the Bowman set of 72 cards, probably about four or five maybe. And same with boxing, maybe 6 or 7. Most notably Jersey Joe Walcott, I got on the brain. Sugar Ray Robinson, and the Raging Bull, Jake LaMotta, are all in that same group of boxers. So that gets me to, I believe, if I'm counted them right, to 36, exactly halfway to completing that set. And then next we have a couple of additions for the 1940 play ball set. Hot Potato Hamlin, not really quite sure. Luke is his given name. And this is card number 70. And next we have one more player. This is Cookie Lavagetto. Might have had his possibly his most famous at bat in 1947 against Bill Bevins of the Yankees, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning, and Bevins on the threshold of pitching a no-hitter. Cookie Lavagetto hit a drive that got in between outfielders and went for a double. I believe that's the story. So Cookie Lavagetto broke up the one hitter, and then Lavagetto later scored what was proved to be the game-winning run in the bottom of the 9th inning. So really, so that's my 1940 play ball editions. And the last card that I have to show you is a card that I am collecting in my efforts to try to collect one playing day card of every Hall of Famer. Now, some of you might go to say, well, Eddie Collins was not a playing, he was a manager in 1933. And so, live and in front of everyone, I am going to, get my baseball encyclopedia, and together we're going to look up Eddie Collins and see if he can legitimately be called a playing Days player in 1933. And I'll try my best to show you the actual black and white print here. Okay, we're in the Collinses, which there are quite a few. Okay, so here we are. Eddie Collins, regrettably for me, did not pitch in Major League Baseball in 1933. So I've got a nice card. I love the card, but it's not a Playing Days Hall of Famer, so I'm going to have to get another one. Eddie Collins' career lasts from 1906 to 1930, and then he embarked on a career as a manager. There is another Eddie Collins, by the way, in case you were wondering. And he wasn't playing in 1933 either, because his career did not start until 1939. But he knew he knew the other Eddie Collins because it was his dad. So anyway, the Collins family obviously well known to many. Well, much to my embarrassment, but hey, I've been embarrassed before. I've been wrong before, and all of those things I feel quite certain will happen again in my illustrious career as a YouTuber. So let's bring the camera up again, and we'll do our summing up. Um, I was going to show you some cards and tell you about how happy I was to have finished a small collection of cards, 80 cards. I'm not going to tell you what they are because I want to have a little bit of suspense when I do get the last card. I was going through all the cards to make sure I had them all, and lo and behold, one was missing. So um, I'm embarking on in fact, I've already ordered it, so it won't be a secret very long, I don't think. So anyway, without any further embarrassment or mistakes or whatever you want to call it, this is Rocket Rick J, 18, wishing that all your collecting dreams come true.